Good evening and welcome to this week's News Digest. We'll be giving you a brief overview of the major events you need to know about. Israel and Hamas agreed to ceasefire. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol arrested. Trump returns to the White House. Inauguration date set. President Qasem-Jomart Tokayev meets United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Black box data from AZAL plane crash near Aktau delivered to Kazakhstan. Foreign marketplaces required to register in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan prepares for Winter Asian Games. In Doha, the capital of Qatar, an agreement was signed to establish a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Under the terms of the agreement, Hamas has committed to releasing 33 Israeli hostages, including women, children, and the elderly. In return, Israel will release several hundred Palestinian prisoners, primarily women and minors. The first phase of the agreement, set to last 6 weeks, includes the gradual withdrawal of Israeli forces from densely populated areas of the Gaza Strip. Residents of the northern Gaza Strip who had previously been evacuated to the south will be allowed to return to their homes following verification procedures conducted by representatives from Qatar and Egypt. Additionally, the volume of humanitarian aid will increase to 600 trucks per day. During this phase, Israeli troops will remain stationed in a buffer zone within the Gaza Strip, no more than 700 meters from the border, and will continue their presence in the Philadelphia corridor, a strip of land along the border between Gaza and Egypt, to prevent potential arms smuggling into the region. The second phase of the agreement, also spanning 6 weeks, stipulates the release of all remaining hostages, including military personnel, in exchange for the further release of Palestinian prisoners and the complete withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza. However, the specifics of the phase are still under discussion, and both sides have yet to commit to maintaining the ceasefire after the first phase concludes. Mediators in the negotiations included Egypt, Qatar, and the United States, which provided verbal assurances and expressed their willingness to leverage the influence to prevent a resurgence of hostilities. This ceasefire marks the first significant step toward de-escalating the conflict that began on October 7, 2023. It aims to reduce tensions in the region and improve the humanitarian situation in Gaza. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol was detained at his official residence in Seoul on the morning of January 15th. His arrest is tied to charges of rebellion following the brief imposition of martial law on December 3, 2024. Over 3,000 personnel from the police and the Corruption Investigation Office for high-ranking officials participated in the operation. Yoon had previously refused to attend interrogations and had barricaded himself within his residence, fortified with barbed wire. Following his arrest, Yoon was taken to the CIO office for questioning, which lasted about 10 hours. According to investigators, he declined to answer questions citing health issues. His lawyers argue that the investigation is unlawful and plan to challenge the arrest in the court. The Constitutional Court of South Korea has begun reviewing the legality of Yoon's impeachment, which was declared by Parliament on December 14. The first hearing, held on January 14, proceeded without the president's attendance. If the court upholds the impeachment, South Korea will hold new presidential elections within 60 days. Polls indicate that over 60% of citizens support Yoon's removal from office. The political situation in South Korea remains unstable. The opposition Democratic Party is calling for an expedited investigation and urging prosecutors to take more decisive action. Meanwhile, Yoon's supporters to continue to rally in his defense, organizing protests and demonstrations. Experts warn that the ongoing crisis could significantly impact South Korea's political and economic stability. The international community is closely monitoring the developments, expressing hope for a swift resolution through democratic processes. Donald Trump is set to return to the presidency of the United States with his inauguration scheduled for January 20 in Washington, D.C. The ceremony will begin at noon local time, corresponding to 8 p.m. Astana time. Trump will take the presidential oath on the steps of the Capitol, administered by Chief Justice John Roberts. Following the oath, the president will deliver an inaugural address expected to emphasize national unity and the country's future prospects. The event will feature prominent political figures and world leaders, including former President Joe Biden and international guests such as Argentine President Javier Milei and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. The program includes the traditional parade along Pennsylvania Avenue, which Trump will personally lead. The evening will conclude with inaugural balls attended by the president and other high-ranking officials. The financing of the ceremony has drawn significant attention, with organizers raising a record-breaking $170 million. Major sponsors include business leaders such as Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Tim Cook, each contributing $1 million. The inauguration will be broadcast live on major U.S. television networks and the official White House website. This ceremony marks the start of Trump's new presidential term, symbolizing the beginning of a new chapter in the nation's history. And now let's turn to news from Kazakhstan. President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev paid a working visit to the United Arab Emirates, where he held talks with United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. The meeting took place at the Qasr Al Shati Palace in Abu Dhabi. President Tokayev expressed gratitude for the warm welcome and wished success for the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week. He highlighted that his previous meetings with Sheikh Mohammed in 2023 had significantly boosted bilateral cooperation, opening up for new opportunities for partnership. Tokayev emphasized that the UAE is a key partner for Kazakhstan in the Arab world and reaffirmed Kazakhstan's commitment to close collaboration across a wide range of bilateral and multilateral issues. He extended an invitation to Sheikh Mohammed to visit Kazakhstan, expressing confidence that such a visit would further strengthen Kazakh-UAE relations. The president noted that the UAE is among the top 10 foreign investors in Kazakhstan, with direct investments flows from the Emirates more than doubling last year. Both sides set a new goal to increase bilateral trade to $1 billion and agreed to focus on concrete economic initiatives to achieve this target. During the meeting, they discussed the implementation of strategic investment projects in various sectors, including transport and logistics, energy, finance, and tourism. Tokayev expressed hope for the UAE's support in fulfilling the joint declaration on these projects. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan thanked President Tokayev for attending the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week summit and praised the fruitful cooperation between the two nations. He stressed the importance of expanding political dialogue and economic ties while ensuring the effective implementation of existing agreements. The leaders expect relations between Kazakhstan and the United Arab Emirates to reach new heights by 2025, promoting development and prosperity for both nations. Sheikh Mohammed also commended Kazakhstan's role in addressing critical international and regional issues related to security and sustainable development. The Kazakh Ministry of Transport has announced the data from the flight records of the AZAL plane that crashed near Aktau is now being analyzed by local experts. The commission investigating the aviation incident is conducting a detailed review of all facts and materials. A preliminary report outlining the findings and progress of the investigation will be published soon. The tragedy occurred on December 25, 2024. An Embraer 190 aircraft operated operated by Azerbaijan Airlines was en route from Baku to Grozny when it crashed near Aktau. Of the 67 people on board, 38 lost their lives. Preliminary findings suggest the crash resulted from external impact on the plane while flying over Grozny. Previously, the black boxes were sent to Brazil, where the Embraer 190 was manufactured for decoding. Representatives from Embraer also participated in the on-site investigation. Additionally, a comprehensive forensic examination has been commissioned, with results expected to shed further light on the causes of the tragedy. Kazakhstan is tightening regulations for foreign e-commerce platforms in response to the growth of cross-border trade and increasing consumer complaints over overseas marketplaces. The main issue lies in the lack of jurisdiction over these platforms, making it difficult for Kazakh consumers to return products or protect their rights. Minister of Trade and Integration Arman Shaqaliyev explained that long distance between countries often make returns or exchanges particularly impossible. Moreover, many foreign goods lack proper certification, raising concerns about their safety and quality. The ministry emphasized that successful international practices show that comprehensive measures, including stricter requirements for platforms and products, create a transparent and safe environment for consumers. Special attention will be given to protecting personal data and consumer rights, tax compliance, and product quality standards, Shaqaliyev added. Since 2020, e-commerce volumes in Kazakhstan have grown fivefold. In the first 11 months of last year alone, Kazakh consumers spent 3.2 trillion tenge on online shopping, driven by widespread internet access, advanced fintech infrastructure, and the popularity of cashless payments. The new rules aim to enhance buyer protection and ensure the safety of goods purchased online. The Winter Asian Games will take place from February 7 to 14 in the Chinese cities of Harbin and Yabuli. Kazakhstan's delegation will include 38 athletes, most of whom hail from Astana, Almaty, and East Kazakhstan region. National teams are being trained by head coaches across 10 disciplines. Minister of Tourism and Sports Yerbol Mirzabusinov stated 9 consultant coaches from the Netherlands, Poland, Slovenia, Belarus, and Russia have been engaged to ensure the high-quality preparation of our athletes. They are working with competitors in biathlon, speed skating, short track, and figure skating. The competition program includes 11 disciplines: speed skating, short track, figure skating, biathlon, curling, cross-country skiing, airplane skiing, freestyle skiing, snowboarding, ski mountain engineering, and ice hockey. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Olzhas Bektenov has calls for making sports facilities more accessible to Kazakh citizens. Kazakhstan has all the necessary resources for developing winter sports. For example, the Shimbulak resort welcomed over 1.5 million ski enthusiasts last year, including foreign tourists. The resort is now exceeding its design capacity, signaling a need to expand infrastructure and develop new ski trails, not only in Almaty but also in other regions of the country, Bektenov said. The Ministry of Tourism and Sports, along with the regional authorities, has been tasked with attracting investors to build new sports facilities while ensuring they remain affordable for the population. The Prime Minister emphasized that involving more Kazakhs in sports is key to both athletic success and the growth of the country's sports infrastructure. These were the week's most important events according to our editorial team. See you in the next edition.